Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a two-step in Tuesday. Hopefully y'all ready to get out and do a little playing. I can tell the Yankees don't look like they in it. They sure as hell ain't in it to win it. We're going to talk a little World Series action. I'm going to go back to tell you why the Yankees are in this position. It all has to do with Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge sucking. Like bad, bad, bad. But one of the worst decisions, Game 1, taking out Garrett Cole after 89 pitches. Just don't understand that. He was dealing. But we are going to talk about how we got to a 3-0 series lead with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Will the Yankees be eliminated tonight? We got bets at the end of the show. You know that. Plus, NFL wrap-up. We wrapping it all up. My goodness, last night, Steelers. I was scared to death the Giants were going to get that backdoor cover.
And I needed it so bad.
Oh, did you have the G-Man?
Yeah, yesterday on the show, Sports Time, I was the one person opposed to the group lock of the 5.5. Everyone else on the show took the Steelers. And I just had it in my soul that Dabo would backdoor cover.
You know, I was thinking that it might happen. I actually waited. I did the in-line on the game. I didn't take it beforehand. When I got that sucker at 3.5, I was like, oh, my gosh, I got this joint. And then Russell Wilson fumbled the ball, and if the Giants went and scored a touchdown, I wasn't going to cover that one, let alone you covering the 5.5 or when the game went off, the 6.5. But dadgummit. Steelers defense does what they do, and Daniel Jones does what he does.
Thank you. I was going to say that. You're so smart.
Man,
you're so smart.
Man, thank you for that nice little turnover, throwing it right to the Steelers.
Right to the Steelers.
And my man almost dropped it. It was like a hot potato.
Yeah, for a second I thought that it was challenge worthy, but, it wasn't.
I was a little bit nervous, but, man, what a night for Calvin Austin. You know Calvin Austin III.
Yeah, freaky fast.
Played right here at the University of Memphis. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
My man had a punt return for a touchdown, which was cold-blooded. And I was all freaked out because there was flags on the field. I'm like, if they roughed the punter or if they lined up in the neutral zone, I'm going to be so mad, but it was on the Giants for illegal formation, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Calvin Austin went absolutely crazy, scored a touchdown. First touchdown of the ballgame, by the way. You know that, right? That's cold-blooded. And I'm very, very, very proud of my man. He's also now on Monday Night Football in the last 20 years. There's only been 3 dudes who have ever had a punt return for a touchdown and a touchdown reception. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
One is going to shock you. Calvin Austin did it last night on Monday Night Football against the Giants. 2010, it happened twice. This won't shock you. Devin Hester, Week 15 against Minnesota, returned a punt to the house and also caught a receiving touchdown. But Dez Bryant, I don't even remember Dez Bryant really returning punts. Do you?
No, not at all.
Did it on Monday Night Football and also caught a touchdown pass back in 2010. So it's been a long time, 14 years, since that's happened on Monday Night Football. Congratulations to Calvin Austin. Steelers got a big win. You know today, we're going to pull out our power rankings. I like to do a little power rankings after the week to figure out, like week 8's in the books. We got 8 weeks in the books. Hell, where did this, do you know September gone, October almost gone?
Absolutely.
This Friday's the last night of high school football in the state of Tennessee. Did you know that? Well, regular season.
Then we go into the playoffs.
It's also Houston Hate Collierville week. I like Houston, so. Sorry, Collierville. I like all you people that live out in Collierville. But I ain't no dragon. Game of Thrones, though, had some dope dragons. It's the only dragon I really like, man. And that little girl that was, like, riding that joint. Man. Cute little thing. But we got the NFL Power Polls. We're going to talk a lot of NFL action.
It's actually your mid-season, now that I think about it, because 8-8 is 16, 9-9 is 18, right? So this is actually the midway point. This is your Johnny Harden Hall of Fame midway, halfway point power rankings.
Power
Yeah,
Ranger
yeah.
rankings. The only thing is now don't we have 18 weeks in football because they play 17 games, or I've been
Yeah,
smoking.
but I'm talking about 17 games, though.
Yeah.
So technically, this is the halfway point because if you went to next week, we don't play 18 games. We play 18 weeks, not 18 games.
Whoa.
So technically, see how astute I am?
Man,
Technically,
look at you.
this is the halfway point.
Halfway
so-
point, baby.
Yep. I
Halfway
got
point.
halfway coach of the years.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. So that's crazy that you have the power rankings. I did my halfway point coach of the years
In the NFL?
in the NFL.
Well, then, girl, we gonna talk about that a
Girl,
little
we
bit
gonna-
later,
girl, we gonna do
girlfriend.
something. We gonna do something, girl.
Come on, girl, let's bring out them rankings.
Well, I just go straight to the top, and it's his day. Mike Tomlin. And not just because of last night, because of where he started at the beginning of the season. You have two quarterbacks, you have none. Then not only that, you go with Justin Fields to start off. Then a hard pivot. Like it wasn't just a quick pivot; it was a hard pivot to a now healthy Russell Wilson. So what are they going to say now? What is the conversation around the Steelers? Now, are you believers?
Hold on. I would like to remind you. Do you know
yeah.
something about the Steelers, real quick? Do you remember? Man, what week was it? Steelers offense looked absolutely terrible.
Horrid.
It was when they lost, when they got beat by the Colts, and they looked just pathetic doing it. I can't remember what week it was. I just can tell you they lost to the Colts, and if you lose to the Colts, you know you're not a good football team, or at least that's what you don't think. But I do know this: after that loss to the Colts, everybody started to wonder, Mike Tomlin, is he really the guy going forward? Bro, you've had like 3 coaches since 1961.
Correct.
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin.
Tough as nails, every last one of them.
Every one of them. And I'm telling you right now, my man's pushing, all the buttons he's pushing is absolutely perfect. But I'm going to ask you a question real quick, and I want everybody at the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listen to the line 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. If I sound crazy today, by the way, because I can't breathe. And oxygen, I think, is very important for talking. Did you know that?
It's kind of a prerequisite.
Man, so today will be day number 2 on the struggle bus. Grove got me, man. The Grove got me. And I have such a busy week this week, too.
You should probably never go back.
Oh, hell, you done lost your damn mind, son. It's like my favorite spot.
You should probably never ever go back.
But I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I got courtside tickets Wednesday night to the Grizzlies. I'm gonna be looking like a rich man.
Oh, smooth.
Going-
Feet on the parquet.
Going to Knox Vegas on Friday to watch Tennessee play Kentucky. So I'm gonna go see what's going down in Knoxville. Got a busy week. Oh, my girl's going to Moulin Rouge tonight. Home alone, baby. Hopefully I feel better by the time 5 o'clock rolls around. Because 5 o'clock, Tito's, the best spirit around. USA vodka. It is awesome. Get your Tito's on today. But last night, Mike Tomlin, he probably got his Tito's on a little bit because they've taken care of the Giants. They're winners of 3 in a row. And don't look now, but they're 6-2. And remember how we talked about the AFC North yesterday? Just a little pinch about how, man, who had the Steelers at the halfway point leading the AFC North? Bengals, Ravens, very popular picks. Browns, some people like them. Even though the Browns sabotaged their entire season just by proving a point that they wanted to play Deshaun Watson because he paid him $230 million. It's crazy how much better they look with Jameis Winston.
Kind of had to, John.
Scored more than 11 points. Scored 11 more points than they had all season long. Did you know that Deshaun Watson never threw 300 yards in a game? Jameis Winston went out there and did it like it was nothing. But the AFC North's Pittsburgh Steelers are looking pretty good. We'll get our power rankings a little bit later. I'm also fired up because my buddy Bob's listening.
Hey, Bob.
He's the dude who's Knoxville bounding it with me. So we're going to go have a little bit of fun. He's also very upset that deadgum Najee Harris didn't score a touchdown last night.
Sounds like fantasy drama.
No. He ended up doing the anytime touchdown score situation.
Oh, betting drama.
Betting drama, yeah. Like betting drama and fantasy drama. Like, I don't have much fantasy drama.
I got some now.
Well, it's just like it's a whole season,
Yeah.
and I don't pay nearly as much attention to fantasy as I do to gambling.
Correct, and I didn't. This is the first time I've played in about 10 years. Matt Enfield, Sports Anchor Action News 5.
I know
invited
exactly
me.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, he got me.
Does
in
the show with
league.
Wolo.
Yeah, does the show with Wolo. He actually comes on Sports Time as well. So friend of all the shows, Mr. Enfield. But yeah, he has me playing.
Oh, he's on your
fantasy.
station, ain't he?
Yeah, yep. So I'm in his league, and I'm in third place. So taking him down.
But I will tell you, what did I tell you yesterday? Najee Harris over 80 yards plus 130.
You the man.
That got there. Sorry, Bob, that you didn't go over the 80 yards and you just went with the touchdown. But damn, man. It was hard for the Steelers to score. Thank goodness to Calvin Austin. Now, tons of NFL today. 12 o'clock, we're jumping in. At 12:30, I got Hardwood because it feels so good. At the end of the show, we're going to bet. We're going to talk a little baseball in between. And don't forget, today we have CBSSports.com's very own David Cobb. My man's going to join me at 11:30. And we got to talk a whole lot of college football. We got to talk a little bit about college basketball as well as the Tigers played last night. They look really, really bad in the first half. Like they were down 20. But damn it, they look really good in the second half. And you know that PJ Haggerty kid?
Know him well.
Dude gets to the line, doesn't he?
Make buckets.
Makes buckets, does his business. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals.
I like how quiet everything is on the Tiger front. You know, given what happened a couple of weeks ago, there's no talk about the number one recruit or who's the top dog on the team. I think everyone knows their roles, and I kind of like them to have a quiet, good year because I think we're tired of the loud, bad years.
Man, see, this is where I do have to say one. Like, oh man, see, I hate to be this person.
Uh-oh. Sounds like you're still gonna do it.
No, I'm just saying. Oh, this is tough. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and like go out there. I'm not going after Penny. I'm not going after basically this team. I mean, they played 2 exhibition games. You know what I mean?
And tough exhibition games. I mean, they weren't the bottom feeder of teams or where we would win 106-35.
I'm just saying, like that first half, they looked so bad it wasn't even funny. Like the
Correct.
negatives, they did too much helping on basically. Too much drive, like too much on drive defensively. Like their offensive execution in the half court, I thought was terrible, but it's always been terrible, it seems like. If you don't get out and run, they're not going to do anything. Now, there was a ton of threes by Alabama.
Thank you. Yep.
So that kind of screwed up the rebounding numbers. So I'm not going to sit there and say they're a bad rebounding team, but when you're shooting all those 3 and the ball's bouncing all over the damn place and right in Alabama's hands, it's kind of that didn't necessarily like a normal rebounding style game. So I'm not going to jump on them for that. But shooting just 50% from the free throw line,
Always been our Achilles heel. Always.
like we still don't shoot good threes. They had a few bad, entry passes. But I will say, team's active on defense. Penny loves that. It's very, very early in the season. But I do have to say, I like to watch the X, a.k.a. formerly known as Twitter.
Okay.
So I got the football game on. I got the baseball game on. Got my X out. I listened to Wolo for a little bit.
Had your X out.
I was listening to Wolo for a little bit, too, when I had to run a little air in action. But, man, I'm just going to say, there's just something about with all these games going on, and I'm looking down at my X, and I do have to say, Memphis fans can come out pretty negative pretty quick, right?
It's called coming out hard.
Coming out hard, 8-ball MJG.
There you
Don't
go.
play
Look
no
at you.
games,
Look at you.
son.
Look at you.
Shoot, I'm living like a pimpster. Got a fleet of beeps, and they all call me mister.
Oh, I love you for that.
Don't even, man. 8-ball MJG, man. I love them. But it's just, I don't know, man. We're going to find out. It's very early. Basketball, I'm not necessarily concerned about.
Yeah, until Christmas, we know.
But the X's, I was very concerned about because, man, how many people came out here that were Memphians last night and jumped on that X just to call this team an AAU team?
There were quite a few.
They look like a high school basketball program. AAU plays more, has a, what was it? One of them was like the AAU circuit has a more sophisticated offensive game plan than Penny's ever has been or something. Just, look, it's early, two exhibitions. PJ Haggerty, though, is going to put the ball in the damn hole. My man Colby can shoot. I think they're going to be all right.
Absolutely, and there was a classy team. You know, I want to say we got outclassed, but not in a bad way towards the Tigers, but more so giving credit to Alabama. We got outclassed.
Dude, Alabama's damn good, bro.
Thank you. That's
Even
all
without
I'm saying.
3 starters.
Yep, that's all I'm saying.
One thing, did you see Nate Oates? I was watching Jason Munn's feed as well last night, and it seemed like Nate Oates and Penny kind of had a little, like, some words. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't see that one.
I didn't know if they were
I was
having
burning a lot of
words
candles
or-
too, man.
You were burning a lot of candles last night?
Yeah, I went to the Grizz game, then scurried home.
Oh, did you go to the Grizz game last night?
Yep, I
So
stayed
you
there.
saw that absolutely pathetic performance and then blowing a 20-point lead. And by the way, I don't know if you know this. Speaking of people on X not liking somebody, boy, right now, not many Memphis fans like Marcus Smart.
No, actually when I left, I was a happy camper. I got out of
'Cause
there.
they were winning?
Yeah, they were winning. So I'm like, okay, let's get home. We can then catch the World Series, the rest of the Monday Night Football, and then watch the 2 old men, LeBron and KD, play. So
By the way, I watched that last night.
Yeah.
Well, I watched the second half anyway.
last night was a good night of sports, man.
Let me just tell you something. LeBron sucked last night. What was
he
wrong
did.
with LeBron?
He was tired, man. He was tired. You know. It happens.
Oh, speaking of my good buddy Bob.
40-something.
My good buddy Bob. Love this man. He LeBron James had to score 15 points for him to hit like
Bob, no, you didn't.
All
He
he had
had
to do-
11.
He had 15. All LeBron James had to do was score 15 points last night, and he hits all 4 legs of his parlay.
Oh,
LeBron had 4 points in the third quarter, man. It was terrible.
well, he kept his double-digit streak going on. So.
I just know one thing. I'm not used to seeing LeBron play that poorly.
You're not used to seeing him being 40, 41 years old almost, you know. Hey, give him a break. He's getting old before your eyes. He's fading into the background.
Bro, I don't know if you know this. I never ever once Superman, like, if Superman started flying around, I ain't gonna be like, Superman, you be like 80 years old now. You still damn Superman.
He's still Superman.
LeBron James, man, I hate to say it. MJ's the greatest, but nobody's body's held up like LeBron James's.
Yes, sir.
Hey, dude's built like a damn tank.
Physical specimen.
Just wish he could
He's
shoot.
built like Karl Malone. Like, that's what all the old heads say. He
Man,
he
don't
has the
say he's like
body.
Karl Malone.
No,
So
the body.
Is he impregnating those under 18 or something?
His body, John. His body's like Karl Malone.
All right,
but
because
so
Karl,
much more athletic.
whoa.
You got some Karl Malone stories too?
Dude, you don't remember when he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant?
No, did he?
What? Like, this was, I guess, before, like, police or something.
Police.
This was before, I guess, like, they were looking for Diddy. But no, I'm not. I'm being dead serious. I know this for sure. In 1984, when Malone was 20 years old, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl named Gloria Bell, bro.
Okay, I don't
How
think
the hell do I remember stuff like that when I can't even remember what I ate for lunch yesterday?
John, I don't think I ever have another chance to do this, so I'll take my shot. John, I was 1. Like majority of the stuff we talk about, I'm here with you. I was
I'm
an
that
adult.
much older than you.
No, in 19, you said 84.
84?
Dude, I was 1. You couldn't have been no more than what? I give or take 10.
7.
7. You see what I'm saying? I was 1, dude. You were 7.
I know,
How the
man.
hell do you remember that you were 7?
Oh, the reason I remember is because I was a big Utah fan for like a small, brief moment when they had Stockton, Malone, and again,
Antoine Carr.
Russell, Ostertag, Hornacek, and what's their coach's name? Jerry Sloan, who I
Shout
love
out
so
to Jerry
much.
Sloan.
Like I ended up liking that team for a brief moment.
Mark Eden.
And I remember telling somebody that I liked the Utah Jazz, and then they broke it down for me. Because I said the mailman was my favorite player, and he said, no. You don't pick Karl Malone as your favorite player unless you like Sick Freaks. So, yeah. By the way, how's it, how did you not, like in 84, they didn't just give a damn, did they?
There was a lot of stuff that happened in the 80s. 901-360-8255. 80 sports stories, you got it.
Yeah,
Send them to John.
Send them to me, 901-360-8255, and let me know what you think. But again, we got to talk about the Tigers basketball team. We're going to talk about the absolutely collapse of the Grizzlies last night.
It was bad.
Now, and again, it was really, really bad. It was, it was.
We missed Ja. It was bad, but I think that's
no
solvable.
Ja Morant, no Ja
Yes.
Morant. But again, you are up 20.
Big time on a futile team. I mean, this team, they were not playing good in the first half. Josh Giddey looked horrible. They even threw out Lonzo Ball
Zach
out there.
LaVine was the only dude who was actually tearing up things for a little bit.
And that's in the second half because, like you said, we were up 20. So
Kobe White, I flipped it over a couple times. Saw Kobe White bearing a damn three, and I'd be like, damn, man.
He didn't do too much in the first half. We were having our way, as they say. That's how Scottie Pippen Jr., second double-double off the bench, second Grizzly to do that in as many games as Brevin Knight. So he and Brevin Knight now shares the stat books.
All I know is when Marcus Smart goes 0 for 11, how can I even complain about LeBron James scoring just 11 points?
Yeah, he's regressing, so to speak. But, I mean, I can believe all Grizzly fans knew that he had hit his pinnacle, but I think where I'm holding him accountable is on the defensive end. I don't look for him to give me 20 plus. I look for him to give me 8 to 10, 12 maybe, a couple steals, and be Marcus Smart.
Zach Edey ain't looking like Zach Edey. The expectations that we were hoping for. But, man, we got so much to talk about. We got Grizzlies, we got Tigers, we got a World Series game. We got to talk about the NFL. I'm going to give you the Week 1 power rankings. We got coaches' rankings. But on the other side, I got David Cobb from CBSSports.com. We got to talk all things college football, man. And if you look at the SEC right now, it is freaking confusing.
Because no divisions.
No divisions, and we could have chaos ensuing. Right now, you have to remember, Texas A&M is 5-0 in the league. You have Georgia at 4-1, Longhorns 3-1, Vols 3-1, Tigers, LSU freaking Tigers are 3-1. Like, what's going to happen? Who knows? Chaos will ensue, but we're going to talk about it next with David Cobb. Don't y'all dare touch the dial. Back in 2 shakes on a two-stepping Tuesday. Make sure you go to the liquor store and grab you some Tito's. It's one of the best parts of waking up. Just a little bit of Tito's in your cup. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You're a contractor and you need concrete coating and supplies in Memphis fast, and you get this answer? I think we can order that stuff, but you're going to have to wait a few days for delivery. Why wait? Get your concrete coatings and supplies now at TSS Supply, where everything you need is in stock. If you're working in the tri-state, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi area, everything you need for concrete coating is at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road, Memphis. TSS Supply specializes only in concrete coatings and supplies all in one place. If you're looking for a particular item, need large quantities, or just have general questions, call 901-729-0565, 729-0565, or you can email your question to Brad at tsssupply.com. The friendly, knowledgeable folks at TSS Supply have over 150 years combined experience in concrete coatings, materials, and supplies. Contractors, are you in town for a job or getting ready to do a job for a customer during their holiday shutdown? Then you should visit TSS Supply for your concrete coatings and supplies. Why wait for materials when TSS Supply has everything you need in stock and they can get it to you today or within 24 hours? TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
The top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down at T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
Summer may be over, but yard work, it goes on. Don't worry, Colonial Hardware makes it easy for you. Colonial Hardware has all the lawn and garden tools you need from the best brands in the Husqvarna, Toro, Echo, Shindaiwa, and Billigo. Servicing most brands of lawn equipment, Colonial's master service techs will keep you going year-round. Colonial Hardware, family-owned and operated, and serving you for nearly 50 years. Next to Bass Pro Lane at Sycamore View, and online at colonialhardwareinc.com.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It's a little two-stepping Tuesday. I like to do a little two-stepping on myself, you know what I'm saying? I like to step out into a liquor store, and I always step right to the best, and I always get Tito's. It's American vodka. Like, whenever I think of Tito's, it makes me think of Rocky knocking Drago out. Because I ain't buying no commie vodka, bro. I don't want it made out of potatoes. Corn, naturally gluten-free, bro. And again, man, support USA. And get your Tito's going. If life hands you lemons, don't freak out, don't fret, don't stress. Just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's for the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka. You think a little Tito's would clear up my sore throat,
you need a
my
Tito's
congestion in
sinus
my
shot.
chest, and the absolute gunk going on in my entire face?
Yeah, absolutely. A Tito's laden sinus shot.
Looks like I'm going to my office right after this. Give me a little Tito's. You know what? I'm so grateful y'all don't raid my office. Like, coming around, walking around here all
It's invasion of privacy.
dancing around and stuff. Because Tito's makes you feel good, baby.
Gyrating.
Almost as good as David Cobb makes me feel when I talk to him on Tuesday. He's the best writer at CBSSports.com. He's the best writer on the damn planet. He's also one of the nicest guys, and he's about to be a dad. What up, DC?
Hey, what's up, John? I'm doing all right, hanging in there.
How close are we now, my brother?
Whew, under 3 weeks. It's getting real. So it could be any minute now.
Now, I do want to remind you, don't pull anything like I did. So, do you know what false labor is?
No, but I have a feeling you're about to tell me.
So, women can start having contractions. But the thing is like they're not dilating, they're just having contractions, and they think that they're having a baby. And then you freak out, and you take them to the hospital, and then you sit there for 3 hours, and then you go back home. So that happened one time. And then 4 days later, it happened a second time. And about a week later, it happened a third time.
And then eventually they were like, get out of here.
So, no. Then I'm working down. This is when I was bartending at Alfred's. So I get off work, like 6 o'clock in the morning. I come home. Right when I walk in the door, I am exhausted. She looks at me and says, I think this is the real one. And I looked at her and I was like, child, please, man. She's like, take me to the hospital. I was like, no. I said, this is false labor again, and you know it. The baby's not due for another 12 days. I was like, I'm going to go lay down and get in bed. And then went and got a nice little sleep, and about 3 hours later, there was a beat on my door. It was my mom screaming at the door going, your wife's about to have your first child. Where the hell are you? So what I'm saying is you can have it once, twice, it can happen 3, happen 4, maybe even 5 times. Just whatever you do, make sure you take her because she's been holding that on. My ex-wife been holding that over my head for now. I don't know. How old is my daughter? Like 27 years.
I'd say well-deserved. Well, good news for us. We're like basically across the street from the hospital. So pretty easy drive to get over there in case something happens.
Yeah, and you know me, man. I was like downtown. I had to go all the way out east, man. Like that was not a fun drive. But man, getting back to some normal stuff, I got to tell you right now, the SEC is looking a little crazy to me, David. You got to help me with this right now.
Oh yeah.
You got the Aggies who are sitting there at 5-0, Bulldogs 4-1, Longhorns 3-1, Vols 3-1, LSU's even 3-1. Right now, if you looked in your crystal ball, who has the easiest path to actually play in the SEC championship game, and who do you think on the outside who's left out of that championship game actually has the best shot at getting in the college football playoff?
Yeah, it's murky, isn't it?
It's
The
murky,
SEC
bro.
is a cloudy picture, especially now that you don't have divisions anymore. First time, and wow, probably what since before South Carolina and Arkansas were in the league. So it's been a minute, and now you know this is the first time that there's ever been a conference championship game in the SEC when there haven't been divisions. So it's going on all over the country now without the divisions. It's making these conference races really difficult to figure out, really difficult to decipher. And I think Texas A&M's got a really nice path, though. I mean, they're unbeaten in the conference. Playing at South Carolina this week is tricky, but they should win that.
Can I interrupt you
playing at
real
Auburn-
quick? Because I did have to
What's up?
ask you something. I'm sorry. You brought up the South Carolina game. How the hell is A&M only a 3.5-point favorite after what I saw them do in the second half to LSU at South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina can play. Like, every once in a while they come out and they're just a totally flat, offensive team, and they can't get anything going. Like when they played Ole Miss, like if that's all you saw this year was their clunker against Ole Miss, then like, sure, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But you got to remember this team has one of the most filthy, aggressive defensive fronts in all of college football. And if they had even just a good offense, I mean, the South Carolina team would be up there in the mix with everybody else in the league. So you get them, you get Texas A&M coming to your place. I mean, yeah, I think South Carolina's capable of winning that game, especially if A&M starts Connor Wegman and South Carolina's pass rush is able to get home on him. So that I mean, I don't know. I say Texas A&M has the easiest path, but that's really just because they're sitting there at 5-0 in the league. So I mean, pretty clearly.
But they also South Carolina, as good as they played, and I didn't think about this. They would have covered the 3.5 they cash against Alabama, 3.5 against LSU. They cashed that against LSU. So yeah, they have played some teams really good. Because I just played a little bit too much attention to the whole Ole Miss game, and Ole Miss I'm not a believer in. But they do have South Carolina. They have Auburn, and then they have the last game of the year is Texas at home. If they win out and then even lose to Texas, they're in the SEC championship game, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I think they're in the playoffs too in that scenario because they actually have some stuff on their resume now, right? Like they crushed Missouri, they beat LSU, they won at Florida, right? So like there's enough there that even with 2 losses, I think Texas A&M is a lock to make the playoffs, especially if those losses are against Notre Dame and Texas. I don't think they're going to get penalized too much for that. So I think Texas A&M is pretty close to a lock to the playoff right now. I mean, they got to obviously, like if they lose to South Carolina, then they would probably have to beat Texas. But no, I mean, it's crazy what Mike Elko's done in year one.
Speaking of Mike Elko, what he's done in year one, more impressive, Mike Elko and what he's done, Clark Lee or Deion Sanders?
Wow, that's I mean,
those are the 3 that I have for Coach of the Year right now, at least in my head.
So Mike Elko's in year 1, Deion Sanders is in year 2, Clark Lee is in year 4. So I think it's Deion Sanders because of what he inherited. He inherited a 1-11 team that was completely non-competitive, totally irrelevant, and one of the worst in college football. And in year 2 now, he's got them in the Big 12 title hunt. They're already bowl eligible, and they might have the first 2 picks in the 2025 NFL draft. So I think that's the most impressive of those 3. I mean, what Mike Elko's done is impressive, but he did inherit a lot of talent from Jimbo Fisher. All they needed was a competent adult football coach to come in there and run a competent program. And so, like, in that sense, it's not really even that impressive. Like, it's just Mike Elko being a good football coach. But, like, Deion Sanders had to be more than just a good football coach. He had to be a salesman, a recruiter, a magician in some ways to get Colorado from 1 win to where they are now.
And let's be real, Clark Lee, with what he's done with Vanderbilt, I know it's the year 4, but I guess Clark Lee is great, but damn it, it's Diego Pava. Well, how can't I say his last name for me?
Pavia.
Okay, I thought that's what I said, and then I hear myself. I'm like, did I say Pavia? Anyway, Diego is a bad mamma jamma. Like, this kid is, like, ridiculous. You got to give him credit because he's made almost everybody on that offense better.
Yeah, so I was covering the Vanderbilt-Texas game on Saturday, and it really strikes you watching it from the press box just how vital Diego Pavia is to everything that Vanderbilt does. And I would argue that Diego Pavia is probably more important to Vanderbilt's success than maybe even Travis Hunter is to Colorado's. Like, in terms of somebody who is that valuable, accounted for that many wins. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Vanderbilt being 2-6 if they just are running it back with some whatever dud quarterback. You know, Diego Pavia has been that much of a difference maker for them, and he is their offense. He is their team. It's pretty amazing to see it. So, I mean, that's all the evidence you need of how important it is to get the quarterback position right in the portal. I mean, look at Michigan, how much they've struggled because they didn't go and get a quarterback. Look at Auburn, how much they've struggled because they didn't go and get a quarterback. And then look at Vanderbilt and how much better they have been because they did go and get one. So, yeah, it's wild, man. You give credit to Clark Lee, but I think in some ways it's all the credit going to Diego Pavia for the fact that Vanderbilt suddenly turned into a competent football team.
I know Hugh Freeze doesn't like Diego because he beat him last year when he was in New Mexico State. He said he's already sick of seeing this kid. You got a very, very important win finally. Auburn, Vandy, who you got?
Ooh, give me Vandy. Their defense is good. It's not great, but they got home on Texas and were really disruptive in the backfield and had Quinn Ewers under pressure and sacked him several times. And so you look at that Auburn offense and, like, they if they can get out of their own way, like they're more than capable of winning the game. And then I know they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves coming off that win at Kentucky, but Vanderbilt's shown it way more consistently throughout the season against quality competition than Auburn has. So, yeah, man, I would go with the Vanderbilt Commodores in that game.
It's amazing. We're going with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's actually really good. Well, what happened to Mark Stoops in Kentucky, man?
I don't know, but letting Jarquez Hunter run as wild as he did, that is not what we're used to seeing from a Mark Stoops in a Kentucky defense. And we might be in a position here where Kentucky's going to fail to make a bowl for the first time since 2015. I mean, that's kind of crazy. And it's, you know, they're going to suffer in all likelihood, suffer their sixth loss this week at Tennessee. So then they're going to beat Murray State. That'll get them to 4 wins. But then they would have to beat Texas and Louisville in the last 2 weeks of the season to get to 6 wins. Sorry, but I don't see it. And I think you got to evaluate this thing if you're Kentucky and you're Mitch Barnhart. Like, you know, you've kind of given Mark Stoops a free pass. Hey, 7-6, you know, good enough for us, right? And now it's like you're coming off consecutive 7-6 seasons, and now you're probably going to go 5-7. And it's like, what are we doing here? Is this still going in the right direction? I don't know. Maybe because of all the good he did, he gets one more season, but I think that the hot seat is coming for Mark Stoops.
I will say, you got to remember, they also lost every single conference game at home this year in Lexington. That can't be fun for their fans.
True. Great observation. Great point. Their fans were after me this offseason when I ranked Kentucky number 15 out of 16, or maybe it was 14 out of 16 in the SEC for home environment. And it's like, you guys don't win at home. You lose at home. So I don't even know what you're arguing about. Not to mention the fact that, like, if you've actually been to the other SEC stadium, it's pretty clear. Like, Kroger Field, which is named after a grocery store chain, so there's a big X in the category right there in terms of making your field intimidating. Like, don't name it after a grocery store, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's pathetic, honestly, how bad they've been.
Unless
at
it's
home.
Publix, man. Have you ever been to one of them suckers? Boy, I like it.
Hey, Publix is nice. I mean, look, hey, my alma mater has named their basketball arena the Food City Center, so I mean, I can't say anything, right? But anyway, like, Kentucky's home field advantage is non-existent, and it's I don't know what they're doing. And normally you're like, all right, let's look ahead to basketball season. It's November now, but their basketball team was picked to finish 8th in the SEC. So tough times in the Commonwealth.
Man, they go miss John.
Actually, my hot take for CBS Sports for our preseason basketball stuff, we had to come up with a bold take about the season. My bold take is actually that Kentucky's going to win the breakup with John Calipari. And I actually think Kentucky fans will leave year one of the Mark Pope era feeling better about themselves than Arkansas fans will about their thing with John Calipari. So I'm actually like kind of optimistic for Kentucky's basketball team.
I don't know, man. Wagner's on Arkansas's team.
Yeah, but he wasn't that great as a freshman. He's got to get a lot better. So, I mean, Calipari's got a lot of talent. Shocker, right? Like, nothing changed. He's still got a team with some players and some future pros. And I don't know that you look at Kentucky and see the future pros, but I see a really veteran Kentucky team with a lot of really, really skilled players. I think they could turn into a good team by the middle to late stages of the season. I don't think Kentucky's going to be firing on all cylinders out of the gate. But I think once Mark Pope starts getting those guys acclimated to the way he wants to play, I think they could be pretty dangerous.
Tennessee Vols, I got to switch over to. Going ahead to Knoxville this week. Going to go watch a little Kentucky get beat down by Tennessee. Kind of curious. I look at their schedule. Mississippi State's going to be a walk. I look at Vanderbilt. It will not be a walk. It'll be a tough damn game. But I'm looking at that Georgia game. Tennessee, the only chance that they have to make the SEC championship games, they have to beat Georgia. They have to win out if they want to make it. They've already got that loss. If they have 2 losses, I think it keeps them out of the SEC championship game with what Texas A&M, Texas, and Georgia are doing. Does Tennessee get in with a loss to Arkansas and a loss to Georgia?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they do. Because as a 2-loss SEC team, I think the only one who would be disqualified would be Missouri. Their strength of schedule would be so light, and they've already got the 2 losses. They're going to take at least one more, so they're not even going to be there in the conversation. But it's like when you look at the schedule strength, like Missouri would have no shot as a 2-loss team. You go to the Big Ten, Indiana would have no shot as a 2-loss team. Indiana's got to be there with 1 loss on Selection Sunday. Tennessee, I think, would be okay with 2 losses. The loss at Arkansas is not great, but it's a road loss against a quality, at least a decent SEC team. And then you don't really get dinged at all for losing at Georgia. So then it becomes a matter of like, okay, well, what do you have in the positive column of your resume? And that's where it gets interesting for Tennessee fans, because I actually think you need to root for Alabama. So it's a tough situation because you root for Alabama, and so that validates your victory over the Crimson Tide. If the Crimson Tide finish 10-2 and they're a playoff team and you beat them, then it's like, okay, that's a really quality win for Tennessee. On the flip side of that, though, if Alabama takes another loss, then they're not competing with you for a playoff spot. So it's like, I don't know, like it's a tough situation right now for Tennessee fans looking at Alabama and trying to figure out what you want Alabama to do the rest of the way. But at the end of it, I think Tennessee gets in even with a loss to Georgia. So long as they beat Vanderbilt, that's a quality win. So long as so long as Arkansas doesn't completely fall off a cliff, like then you can excuse losing to Arkansas. So it would be a close shave, but it would be I would put the odds at like 75%. That Tennessee would get in with 2 losses.
Ole Miss didn't look too impressive to me against Oklahoma. Of course, Ole Miss will score on their first drive every single damn game, and then they'll go the rest of the first half and look like trash. They go on the road. They play Arkansas. You can already hear Lane Kiffin talking yesterday at his press conference about how LSU got another night game. Surprising, because he's upset about Georgia being at 2:30. Don't be looking ahead to Georgia right now, Lane, and Ole Miss, because Arkansas is as great as this Ole Miss offense is supposed to damn be. I feel like they are very, very pedestrian. Do you think that Ole Miss can go to Fayetteville and come back with a dub?
It should be a great game. I'm really excited, honestly, for this game. I think it's one of those victories where, if Arkansas gets it done, I think you can kiss the hot seat talk goodbye, because that gets them bowl eligible with 3 games left in the season. They would have beaten Ole Miss and Tennessee in the same year, which I think should be more than enough to get the heat off of Sam Pittman. But, yeah, it's interesting with Ole Miss. Kind of feels the same way a little bit as it does with Tennessee, where early on you were just crushing folks who were overmatched because your offense was so good. And now you get into league play, and you just can't find that gear again. And you're leaning real heavily on your defense, and it's just not exactly how we expected it to look. So this game against Arkansas is interesting, and heck, I mean, for that matter, it's kind of the same deal with Memphis too. They've relied more on their defense than maybe we thought they would. Their offense hasn't been quite as explosive as we thought it would. There's a handful of teams around the country like that right now, where you're just looking at them and you're thinking, this isn't what we thought you were going to be. But having said that, I mean, Ole Miss, if they win this game at Arkansas, man, it sets up a huge, huge, huge game with Georgia the following week. Because if you win these next two games, you're Ole Miss, and I realize getting past Georgia is a tall task, right? But you get them at your place, and so if you win these next two, then everything you wanted to accomplish is very much back in the picture.
Man, I'm hoping that Ole Miss can win these next two, but I'm going to tell you, man, do I trust Charlie Weiss Jr.? Hell no. I mean, on 4th down and 1, they run a reverse and lose 5 yards. Like, some of the play calling is absolutely pathetic. They haven't come in with 2 tight end sets. Juice Wells, you got Trey Harris. Like, they got so many damn weapons. But Jackson Dart looks like he's taking a step back. The offensive line, by the way, has been in shambles all year. They brought in, all this money on this offensive line. It just hasn't lived up. And then Pete Golding. Now I know why Alabama let him go, because Pete drives me crazy.
Well, I say this, like, Prescorn's starting to look good. Like, he's been
They
banged up a
finally
lot.
got him the ball.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's the thing is, like, you mentioned all these playmakers, but Dart's got to spread it around a little bit more. And so in some respects, maybe having Trey Harris banged up is a blessing for Ole Miss, because it's going to force Jackson Dart to distribute the ball to other players. And there's a lot of other players, and then all of a sudden you got to go 5 or 6 deep on the scouting report when you play Ole Miss instead of just focusing in on locking down Trey Harris, who's getting 15, 16 targets a game. Because there's enough other.
They got
guys
Jordan
on that.
Watkins, Caden Lee. They got Juice. They got Cade Priestcorn. Man, they got that the right kid, number 8, who looked really good last week. I mean, they got weapons all over the damn field. They just don't. You know what? They're missing Quinshon Junkins and the offensive line that's any good.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You would have liked to have seen Ole Miss really, really put Oklahoma away, and I mean they really couldn't do it, and that's concerning because you can't run the football at all on those guys, and then you kind of you give Oklahoma a shot to stay in the game, and all of a sudden Jackson Arnold starts looking like a better quarterback against your defense than he has against anybody all season long. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Ole Miss to me feels like they feel like a top 25 team, but they don't feel like a playoff team.
Yep.
And I totally understand why that's disappointing, given all that was expected of this team.
Oh, yes, it's very, very, very disappointing, especially from an Ole Miss fan. Now, Ohio State, speaking of Quinshon Judkins, my man's going to go to Beaver Stadium. Can James Franklin finally win the big one at home against Ohio State?
I don't know, man. Ohio State did look really,
You're
really
like,
bad.
I've seen this movie before, is what I feel like you're saying. You're like, I've watched James Franklin fail on this stage many a times.
Yes, exactly, man, exactly. He's been so good for so long there, but he's never been able to break through and really, really win the big ones. And so, but, I mean, Ohio State has been so unimpressive, especially this past week against Nebraska. Nebraska really should have beaten Ohio State on Saturday, and that would have been absolutely catastrophic for Ohio State. Ohio State's resume is weak. It's hanging on a win over Iowa at the moment, and if they take a loss here, I just think it's wildly fascinating to ponder what happens if Ohio State loses, because it knocks them out of the Big Ten race, and it should absolutely put their playoff hopes on really shaky footing. And then you just think about the hot seat talk around Ryan Day and how quickly that would accelerate. This is a very uncomfortable position for Ohio State. I wish it was a night game. Well, why is this not a night game? I guess Fox
11 a.m., baby. I guess, you know what?
Yeah.
They just want people to start drinking early in the morning.
I don't know. It's just like, if you're Penn State, this would be so much better, more intimidating if it were the night whiteout and all this. Now, Trump's going to be there, which is going to make traffic getting into the stadium an absolute nightmare at, that early in the morning and everything. So it's like, is the stadium even going to be full at kickoff, or is everybody still going to be getting their pockets wanded, by security, right? So it's, I don't know. I kind of hate that for Penn State, because I think the time of the game is going to detract a little bit from the environment. But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like it's another situation where Ohio State's somehow going to find a way to get it done. But at least this time, it's not going to doom Penn State's college football playoff chances. Like, finally, Penn State in the expanded playoff is in a position to where they can withstand these losses and still have a chance to play for it all at the end. And I kind of see that being how this plays out.
How is Indiana doing it even without Curtis Rourke?
Well, they're getting a lot of turnover luck. That helps. And then you get a short field. It helps out a young quarterback, right? Like, that stuff matters. And so it's complementary football. You know, it's like your defense makes it easier on your offense, and all of a sudden, you keep winning ball games. But, no, I mean, it's impressive because there was nothing really dominant about the way Indiana won that game against Washington over the weekend, except for the fact that they were able to kind of line up and play a little bit of smash mouth football in the second half, which you don't normally expect that with a new program, like a totally overhauled roster, to be able to line up and just go mano-a-mano, like out physical another team. Maybe it helps that Washington's also in the same position. And then you get a Michigan State team this week, which is also under a first-year coach. So, I mean, I think there's a really good chance that Indiana's rolling into the Michigan game in a couple of weeks with a 9-0 record, and I think they'll be favored to be Michigan. Then they could be 10-0 going to Ohio State. So that'll be fun. But you got to get Curtis Rourke back healthy. Like, you were able to survive one game without him, but that dude's a star. He's their quarterback. He's their leader. You can't keep winning games without him, I don't think. And so his health is going to be really, really important for Indiana if they want to have any shot at making the playoffs.
Do you like who do you think is better? Who's going to be a better team at the end of the year? Is it going to be the Nittany Lions or the Indiana Hoosiers?
Well, I think Penn State would be favored on a neutral field, but man, it just feels like Indiana's got some of that special sauce.
Mm-hmm. They
they got
don't
the
they?
it factor. They got that swaggy head coach, Kurt Signetti. He's a lot of fun, and they're playing with a little bit of confidence. So if you get a totally healthy Curtis Rourke, man, Indiana can score some points. The Penn State defense has been nasty, but as crazy as this is to say, I don't really know that they've played an offense as good as Indiana's. I mean, Indiana's offense is actually really good. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm talking myself into Indiana being better than Penn State, but I'll say this: Penn State's schedule is at least somewhat more difficult, and that helps Penn State because let's say Penn State were to somehow suffer 2 losses over the final month of the season, which is unlikely. I think they would be safe at 10-2, but I don't think Indiana would, and so I think Indiana has less margin for error here down the stretch.
Is BYU really the best team in the Big 12?
I think Kansas State is. However, head-to-head, I mean, they played an absolutely terrible game.
Was it 38-10, I think?
Yeah, right. And so, I mean, that was a little bit fluky. There were a lot of turnovers, some unlucky bounces, some weird special teams plays, and BYU just absolutely crushed them. But, I mean, on the whole, maybe that's just a bad matchup for Kansas State. But
yeah, I remember because I bet big on Kansas State that game.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. You know what? You remember the losses so much more than the wins.
You do. It's sad. Hey, but don't dismiss Colorado. Like they might be in that conversation. Colorado's a good football team, and they're right there in the mix. They're in the discussion, which is pretty insane.
Damn, I've been talking to you for so long. Oh, by the way, always thank you for giving me so much of your damn time. Also, thanks for helping me out last week coming in on Wednesday. You are the man. Follow David at David W. Cobb on Twitter. Read his work at CBSSports.com. What are you working on this week? I know you got double duty, man. You got college basketball and college football.
Yeah, for sure. So we got our Final Four and national championship predictions coming out at CBS here in a couple of days because the season is upon us. It starts in next week, and heck, I mean, if you're into exhibition preseason basketball and watching 75 fouls and that sort of thing,
I think Memphis had more fouls than field goals last night, didn't they?
It was what there was like 10 minutes left in the game before Memphis finally hit a 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild. Yeah.
Since I got you for 2 more seconds because I'm just talking to you and not letting you go, who is the best team in the country?
Oh, it's Alabama. I mean, Memphis played the best team in college basketball last night, and they made it interesting late. Alabama wasn't fully healthy. I mean, they
had 3 guys out.
Yeah, but man, they're deep. Like they're that LeBaron and Phylon guy, bro. He's a freshman, and he looked incredible in that game. Like he looked like as good as anybody on the floor, including Mark Sears. So that was impressive to see. No, Alabama's best team in the sport. I don't even think it's that close. I think they're going to be pretty dominant this year. I think they're gonna be right back in the mix to make another Final Four. shoot, I'd say if they stay healthy, but they're the type of team that's so deep that even if they don't stay healthy, they've got the horses they can bring off the bench to to keep on chugging. Now, Mark Sears is the one guy that he's got to stay 100%, right? But so long as he is healthy, like they got depth, they got size, they got athleticism, they got shooting. They know they've got an identity. They know the way they want to play. I think Alabama is going to be a problem in college basketball.
He's David Cobb. He knows college football and college basketball as well as he knows the right palm of his right hand, baby. He's the best. Go enjoy life. And remember, if she says, take me to the hospital, just go with her, bro.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
That is David Cobb. We're going to take a quick time out back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
It doesn't matter what time of year it is, it's always the right time to visit Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Bell Tavern is right off Deacon Alley, right at the very center of downtown, but Bell Tavern doesn't have the hurried atmosphere of a lot of places downtown. Bell Tavern is laid back, comfortable, and has hands down the coldest beer and best cocktails anywhere, not just downtown. We say it all the time. You could go to a chain bar if that's what you like, but once you visit Bell Tavern, you'll never go to a chain bar again.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
For life's spectacular moments, only a real diamond will do. At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll discover a brilliant selection of natural diamonds, along with our promise of unmatched quality and service. The only real diamond is a natural diamond from Sissy's. Find yours when you stop by any of our 6 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Discover the natural diamond of your dreams only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
See and get your days on rockin' at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out on the pike. And I've got Rockin' Ronnie waiting to put you in a new ride.
Randy, listen to this. 2024 Dodge Durango SRT, $10,750 off MSRP. A 2024 Dodge Hornet RT, $8,500 off MSRP or 0% for 72 months. A 2023 Charger Scat Pack, $10,000 off MSRP. And the 2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport, $10,439 off MSRP. What do you think about that, Randy?
I think you're rockin', Ronnie. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram out on the pike or shop online. GossettMotorCars.net. RC 126,942, MSRP 90,035. Hornet R3808452, MSRP 44620. Charger PH 592,276, MSRP 60,985. Gladiator RL 106204, MSRP 56,265. Includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Excludes tax file and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Dave Woloshin. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little 2 for Tuesday action. And we got a lot of things going on. Yesterday was the equinox, bro.
I think it's still going on today, too. Because you got baseball, you
I
have
don't have
hockey.
any NFL though.
Ah, crap! You don't have any.
That's
why you're Hall of Fame Johnny.
Damn, I like that nickname. Hall of Fame Johnny.
Hall of Fame Johnny, man, keeping me straight.
Or there's another one I like. It's called. Ooh, almost said that one. Big Bad Johnny will say. Big Bad Johnny. I'm just kidding, y'all. We got to talk a little bit about the World Series before I jump in tons of NFL action. Got to bring a little something up. Kind of frustrated because I love the World Series. But this has been one of the most anticlimactic. I mean, game one was straight up fire and awesome. Game one was ridiculous. 10 innings, Dodgers win on a Freddie Freeman freaking grand slam. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was high leverage. Now, I was on the losing end of that because I had game one with Garrett Cole. So I was, you could say, a lot frustrated. But I'm going to go back and say that this is all not like Aaron Judge is taking an absolute beating. Should Aaron Judge take a beating? Absolutely. But Aaron Boone's a moron. Do you know Al Leiter threw 146 pitches in the playoffs?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Do you know why he threw that many pitches? Because, damn it, he was dealing, brother.
That was Leiter with the Mets, too, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Okay. Sure was. You know who Garrett Cole... Did you know what Garrett Cole had going on in game one against the deadgum Dodgers? My man went 6 innings, 4 hits, gave up 1 run, 4 strikeouts, had 0 walks, and they pulled him at 88 freaking pitches. Why is it you think Nestor Cortez was coming in there to get a home run hit off him against Freddie? Because, damn it, they already beat up their bullpen. I just don't understand it. How come, like, analytics can sometimes bite you in the keister, sometimes it can help. I mean, hey, look, Mike Tomlin on that 4th down and 2 punted the football. Analytics say go for it. He punted it. It worked out for Mike Tomlin. Maybe if they went for it and didn't get it, it wouldn't have worked out, and I wouldn't have got the cover. Things just seem to work for Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin said that's why he's highly compensated, John.
But when you're telling me that Garrett Cole, oh my goodness, he's gone through the lineup 3 times. Damn it, he was dealing, bruh. Then you bring in Holmes for 0.2 innings and he threw 5 whole pitches. You bring in Clay for 5 pitches. You bring in Canale for 8 pitches. You go to Weaver for 19. You only let Cousins throw 14, and then you bring in Nestor. He throws 2 pitches, bam, you're out. His ERA, by the way, right now during the postseason is 54.
Wow.
Well, dude, he didn't get you get 1 out and you give up a granny? It's not gonna help, man. It's not gonna help at all.
Like the highest ever, right? 54.
Like, Lord have mercy. But yeah, I go back to that game one. Yankees, hold on. Aaron Boone does not pull Garrett Cole so early. I think this is a completely different looking series. When they pulled him, the Yankees were up 2-1. Why? They pulled him, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, in the 8th inning, they got to run and tie that Jun up. Of course, we know what happened when in extras. Yankees scored, they're up 3-2, and then chaos ensued. And the Dodgers, you have to give them credit, they're owning this bad boy. Also, the Dodgers are breaking records. Never thought I'd say this, but Shohei Ohtani might be worth every single penny to the Dodgers.
He is, and then some.
Well, I mean, I didn't realize how much money they're making off of Shohei. So they gave him a $700 million deferred contract.
Deferred quite a bit of it this year.
Did you know that $30 million this year went to the Dodgers just straight up from Japan? Just from that. Not talking about revenue coming in, not talking about other things. Straight up for that from the country. Because their advertisers were paying so much money to put their stuff in Dodger Stadium. Do you want to know why?
Because he is the man.
Well, also because did you know that 16 million people in Japan watched the game last night? Dodgers and the Yankees?
Probably more than over here, right?
More than here.
And probably, what, at 4 a.m., 5 a.m.?
I'm thinking like 9 a.m.
9 a.m., okay.
And again, this is 100% a guess.
Yeah.
Don't really
Look that
know.
up for you. You say Japan or China? You said Japan, right?
Japan, baby. 16 million folks were watching that. And we had 12.9. So, yeah, Shohei's doing his thing. His shoulder's a little banged up. Didn't do anything yesterday, but it's all, realistically, it's been about what Freddie Freeman's doing.
I'd have to do the math, but it says Japan is 14 hours ahead of us.
All right, you ready to play math?
Oh, crap.
Let's try it. Let's say...
Well, really, that shouldn't be that hard.
The game was at 7 p.m., so add 2 hours, so it would be 9 a.m.
It was 9 a.m. Look at you.
Even mess with me. I don't even have to think and
Look
be
at
right.
you.
Man. Now,
Oh,
yesterday I
man.
said I think everybody's name wrong, and I said it was Tuesday yesterday 3 times.
Uh-huh.
Told you I was on the struggle bus yesterday. I'm just not feeling $1 million today, but yesterday I was struggling.
Put you on a 10-day injury reserve.
Struggling just like Aaron Judge. Holy cow. How bad do you feel for Aaron Judge right now?
Not as bad for the guy that I'm going to call out after you call him out.
Aaron Judge in the World Series, 3 games, batting average, .083, 0 home runs.
And that's much worse than he was in the ALCS, so he's gotten worse.
In the ALDS game, 9 games. The ALDS and the whole divisional series, he went 9 games, batted .140, and only had 2 home runs. So basically, right now, he is 6 for 43, 1.4 ERA with 20 Ks in the postseason. That is pathetic. And this is the guy you know that very, very, very soon is going to be named the unanimous MVP of the American League.
As well as the NL on the other side. Yeah, correct.
The NL will definitely be, guess who?
You got both.
Shohei Ohtani. Now, Shohei ain't having the best series either, but he's also banged up, you know? And their team's winning 3-0 thanks to Freddie Freeman doing things that only Freddie Freeman can do.
Well, John, right there is where I want to call out this guy because I don't believe there would be 3-0 if it wasn't for third base coach Luis Rojas.
Telling the slow dude, are
come
you
on.
going to tell Joe Biden to run down the stairs of Air Force One?
Are you going to tell Joe
No.
Biden to run down the stairs?
Why are you telling slow-mo Giancarlo Stanton to try to score? Like, that dude man, I'm telling you right now.
He was out at third.
All right.
Come on, John.
All right, Joe Biden, Giancarlo Stanton, foot race, who you got?
Stevie Wonder. That's who I got. Because that was stupid.
That was pathetic.
Luis Rojas, we're saying your name. As that ball is being caught, and I see him waving Stanton home, and Stanton was like trotting or jogging. In his head, he may have been running, but he was not running. You cannot do that. The entire game changed right then and there. I mean, the Mookie Betts, maybe 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat where he blooped it in out and right. Yeah, that's cool. But that's when they lost the game. That's when they lost it.
Hey, I'm right.
I'm glad you feel the same way because you don't ask, let's say, Joe Biden to come down the stairs of Air Force One.
You don't ask him to run up and down the stairs, do you? No, man. You say, hold on to the damn rail, homie. Do me a favor, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. That's Stanton. Like, it's how slow that man is. Freddie Freeman, though, by the way, like, this dude's been banged up. He shows what your Warrior mentality was. He had a terrible, terrible division series, championship series. Didn't play because he was banged up. Dude comes into the World Series, 3 games, 3 home runs. And if you go back to his last 5 World Series games, do you know that he has 5 home runs in his last 5 World Series games? Only one other player in baseball history has done that.
Come on.
He played for the Houston Astros at the time, Mr. George Springer.
So I'm going to give you a little more insight to that. Those records actually coincide because the home run streak of Freddie Freeman goes back to game 6 and 7 of 2021, in which George Springer played, good sir.
Damn.
Come on with that.
Come on with that. I like that. And I'm telling you right now, if Freddie Freeman hits another bomb tonight, this thing's a wrap. And if we get a World Series sweep, you know, Fox literally was just finishing all over themselves. It's the only way I can punish it. They're like, oh, my God, we got the Yankees. Oh, my God, we got the Dodgers. This is going to be a great series, the best in the American League, the best in the National League. And, man, after game 1, which was awesome, it's been a snooze fest. Did you know 37 of 66 swings right now this year, Aaron Judge has whiffed?
That's what it sounds like. whiffs.
Damn. And then last night, did you see him when he actually hit the ball and put it in play? He was out in front. He thought he had a home run for a second, but he hit it off the end of the bat because he's not letting the ball travel. His timing is so off. It's in his head.
Pretty sure you've done it at the plate a time or two.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, when it gets in your head.
Appreciating your work.
Bro, let me just tell you something. When you got issues going on upstairs, it is not a good place to be in a box watching a 90-mile-an-hour, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, Kopech's in there throwing 100 miles an hour last night. You know that he didn't have a chance. Did not have a chance. But tonight, again, Game 4 from Yankee Stadium. Gill's going to be on the BUP. It's going to be a bullpen day for the Dodgers. Could you see a Yankees win? Yes. You know, everybody at Fox is rooting for it. Hell, I'll tell you one thing. The strikeouts might be a little bit of tight for the Yankees. Like the zone might be really small for the Yankees because maybe, you know, them umps are going to be like, dude, we got to get another game so get another check. These World Series games are fat checks, bro. I hope it's not a sweep. I do. Please don't be a sweep. And if it is a sweep,
I don't think anyone wants a sweep.
Then Aaron Boone's going to need to get away. It's a good thing I know where to go, though. Getaway Sports Bar in, guess what? Memphis, Tennessee. Nobody will even know you, Aaron. Come on in here. Come down, hang out with us. People aren't going to beat you up. Everybody's going to like you. It's open 24/7, 365, by the way. You can get a cold beer anytime you need it. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester Road. Aaron, they got TVs everywhere, bro. On the Equinox, Getaway Sports Bar would have been a good place. They had the NFL game. They had the Grizzlies game. Wolo's playing. Tigers action. They had NBA all over the place. Had a little LeBron James, KD. We watched LeBron play terrible last night.
He's almost 40, John.
I think he is 40, isn't he?
Is he 40?
I think he's 40.
It's even worse. He's almost 41.
Hey, Tom Brady played to what, 44? And he's got a dad bod and more Botox and surgery than anybody. By the way, did you know Tom Brady's ex?
LeBron is 39, man.
Oh,
turns
when's his
40.
birthday?
December 30th, 1984. So he is en route to the big 4-0.
Damn, man. Like, I would hate to have a birthday that close to Christmas.
But when you're him, not him. You know, when you're him, you kind of get your cake and eat it too. Especially being in LA, right? You know.
True that.
You know, he's probably hanging out with AD and KD because you know they don't have they're not frenemies anymore. Everybody's friends. You know, they're not punching each other's in the nose. They're hanging out and drinking wine. Yeah, they're drinking wine.
Don't like wine, by the way.
What?
I don't. I mean, if it's all you got, I'll drink it.
I'm a red man. I can take a red wine.
Like Red Man and Saucy Boy from Wendy's?
Saucy Nugget, man. You like him? So sauce on my Tay-Tays, that guy.
Dude, it's the commercials. I wouldn't go to a fast food restaurant if that was the only thing I could eat. But damn, them commercials are hilarious.
No, man, I've long heard you've been out on fast food.
Man, I ain't eating fast food. And you know, I'm old, bro. I'm very vain, too. I don't want to be fat. Like, the most important thing in the world for me is to not get fat. I want to look good for as long as I can. Kind of a big fan of women. I don't know if you know that. Big fan.
Not to have the Jay
Jabba the Hutt didn't get a whole lot of people hitting on him. He had to chain Princess Leia to him. You know what I mean? I'm not all about that. Only time I'm about little chains and stuff is handcuffs when I'm playing a cop on Halloween. By the way, that's Thursday.
Yes, it is. I was going to say, if anyone follows you on the X or the Facebook, you had the guns out on the beach. So we know you like to keep it sexy, man. We know. You had the guns out.
Tonight, by the way, though, because we were talking about a Getaway Sports Bar, you can watch the World Series. You can watch a lot of NBA action. But also, there's a couple, there's three. Is there 3 college games today? I'm pretty sure there's 3 of them. Thank goodness for Google. Here we go. Yeah, New Mexico State plays Florida International at 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Then you have Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajun, playing Texas State. Texas State shout out. I like Texas State tonight. I'm already going to tell you right now, a little early action. I'm taking Texas State minus the 4. I've actually already put that one in. And then it's 7 o'clock on ESPN. You have La Tech and Sam Houston. Sam Houston let us down last week, didn't they?
No, I thought Sam Houston. No, they didn't cover for you. They won.
Well,
they
dude,
didn't
I don't
cover.
know.
Correct.
Hey, good
Correct.
teams win, great teams
Great
cover.
teams cover. You're right. So they
yeah.
absolutely did. They let you down.
They let me down, so I don't think I'm going to touch that with a 10-foot pole and you pushing. But I am going to touch a little baseball tonight. We'll talk about that in the last segment. But I got to give you a little NFL action real quick because we've been talking about this. We've been talking about that. Oh, damn. Hit 901-360-8255. The Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line. Got some Aaron Judge stuff going on. Damn, it says, think about it. My man's going to be a unanimous choice. He hit .322 in the regular season, 58 home runs, drove in 144 RBIs, and scored 122 runs. In the playoffs, he is 6 for 43 with 20 strikeouts. Bam! How in the heck how do you? Is
Sounds
he
like-
just pressing? Like, I mean, is he just trying too damn hard?
Yes, I think he's. If and when he gets one, it'll be get the monkey off my back because he's pressing.
Women can tell you if you try too hard, you know that woman ain't gonna be into you.
Yeah, he's pressing.
You got to act like you don't care sometimes. You know that, right? Like you show them that you into them, you get them into you, and then you kind of like pull it back a little bit because if you stay on top of them, you know what they think? Oh my God, he is annoying me. He's in my space. By the way, that works for us too, ladies.
Yeah, hadn't called her in 2 days. Got to let her mind wander.
Got to let her mind wonder. And the one thing my mind's been wondering on is who are the best teams in the National Football League? It's getting so boring to say Kansas City Chiefs. Gosh, dog it, man. I don't care how many backwards passes, behind the back flips, crazy little thing Pat Mahomes has done. They've been winning so damn long, I'm actually tired of them. So I wasn't when I had them against the Raiders this weekend. But, man. Like, they just keep winning, and Pat Mahomes is not even playing great football. So it kind of scares me to death to say that, DeAndre Hopkins is going to get acclimated to that team.
Absolutely.
Rashid will be back eventually if he doesn't get suspended for a long, long time. Xavier Worthy's coming into something.
His mom will be in the stands.
His mom will definitely be in the stands. Also, when she steals your package,
that's Rice. No, that's Rice.
No, Miss Rice.
That's
Rice.
Rice.
She's going to steal your package.
Worthy is the star.
In his jersey, yeah.
Yeah, Worthy's the star. She's the star.
But, man, Pat Mahomes this year, think about this. 8 touchdown passes, only 9 interceptions. That's not typically how Pat plays.
Pedestrian.
But they're still unfreaking defeated.
And that's a good thing because that means they won't win the Super Bowl. The football gods won't let them be this awesome, John.
Dude, I don't know, man.
The football gods won't do that to me. No.
Well, right now, I got them numero uno. You didn't know I knew Spanish, did you? Is it uno Spanish? First and foremost, isn't it? Okay. I was thinking, oh, my God, is that just a card game? Or is that actually one?
It's actually one.
It's uno, dos, tres.
You know the time the time in Japan, but you don't know. No.
Man, I took French, man. Je m'appelle Jean, comment allez-vous?
Jean-Claude Van Damme to you, too.
By the way, went to France, banging. Had a lot of fun. The food, though, wasn't as bad as England. But you know how they talk about French cuisine supposed to be, like, great?
Yeah.
Man, it's all right.
It was.
Spain has the best food, period, if you go over to Europe. Now, the food in Amsterdam tastes better than any other place because you're smoking weed the whole time. You know what I mean?
So it tastes great.
And they have more family fun, friends, things to do. They have the red light district. They got a lot of museums, coffee shops.
Family-friendly red light district.
But, man, Kansas City, how can you not say they're number one? And this is where things get so damn hard. Like, look at the rest of the National Football League. I had Baltimore up there recently. Did you know Baltimore just lost to the Browns?
Yep.
Like, damn, homie.
They motivated Jameis Winston Browns.
Famous Jameis got his business done. Pittsburgh has a better record. I can't put Pittsburgh. I can't put Baltimore. I can't put anybody in the AFC North right now at number 2. I'm going to have to go over to the NFC, even though Aiden Hutchinson's out.
The disrespect of the AFC North. How dare you?
I mean, I'm not disrespecting him. What I'm just saying is like, I had an AFC North team in Baltimore up here for a little bit. And now I knocked them out of my top 5.
I'm reading between the lines. That means you don't believe in Mike Tomlin.
I got Mike Tomlin up there in the top 5. I don't have Baltimore.
He should be
and
Dose.
John Harbaugh. Man, I'm going with Dan Campbell.
Okay. The
And the
kneecapper.
reason I'm doing this is for one simple thing. They're a physical football team. Their offensive line is the best offensive line in football. They run the ball down your damn throat. They got weapons out the frame. Amon-Ra St. Brown is awesome. Jamison Williams will be back in, a week? One more game. He's suspended.
Yep.
He'll be back. They are physical. And Jared Goff, as much as people sit there and say he ain't elite, he's the best play-action passer in all of football. And when you run the ball more than anybody else, you know what works? Play action. Them safeties be stepping up, looking in the backfield. Next thing you know, you throwing that junk over the top, baby.
You are so correct. Because defense doesn't win championships anymore. You remember that? You say defense win championships? Actually, it's offense.
Unless Ray Lewis is on the
Unless
field.
Ray's out there. But you're making the case why I don't like.
Or the Tampa Bay Bucks that way. The two teams that won with defense. I mean, Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson got Super Bowl rings not because of themselves, it's because their defense was loaded. But look at all the other Super Bowl champs. Because of somebody offensively great.
Yep, and they are humming. So you're right with the Detroit deal.
I
won't
got
knock
Detroit
you.
number 2.
Not gonna knock you. I like that.
This is where things get even more difficult.
Murky.
Okay. Remember how much we loved the Buffalo Bills earlier in the year? They won the first 3 games. Josh Allen was completing 75% of his passes. They were rolling. They dropped the Jags 47-10 on Monday Night Football. I thought Sal Khan was going to absolutely just sell the team right there. Shad Connor. Shad.
Sal Khan.
I said Sal. Man, hey,
Sal
started with an S. Shad, sorry about that. But Shad's also a weird name. Put a T on it and you could say a bad word. But they beat the brakes off the Ravens, and all of a sudden they went out there and got destroyed. I mean, they beat the brakes off the Jags. They beat the brakes off the Dolphins. They beat the brakes off the Cardinals. And then the Ravens beat them. Then the Texans beat them. They lost 2 in a row. Josh Allen looked very, very pedestrian. They weren't, James, Joe Brady, who was the greatest offensive coordinator in the world, had 2 terrible games. They played the Jets and barely won that game. I was not a believer. And then you can sit there and say, well,
they went across country.
Beating the Titans is not impressive because they've been the worst team in football. And then they did beat Seattle across the country.
Across country, which doesn't bode well a lot of times.
Does not bode well. And again, the crazy thing is, by the way, do you know who the 3 leading passers are?
In the NFL right now?
Take a guess.
3 leading passers. Okay, I would go Goff, Purdy, and Josh Allen.
Geno Smith.
What?
Baker Mayfield.
I forgot about Baker. Yeah, that's
Jared Goff.
So I had one. And Baker's humming, too. Yeah, I forgot about Baker.
Isn't that crazy? Crazy.
Journeyman.
I mean, Geno's throwing that rock all over the yard. So here's my question. Is Buffalo, do you believe more in Buffalo and Josh Allen, or do you believe more than Mike Tomlin and the Steelers? Because that's where I'm sitting here at number 3, and I got them next to each other, and I'm waiting for you to help me out.
I like Josh Allen more because we just said offense wins championships, and 2, the acquisition of Amari Cooper.
And by the way, how happy is that man to not be a Brown again?
Correct. The same information you were given about DeAndre. Thank you. It goes the same for Amari, who's also scored a touchdown his first game.
Couldn't score with the Browns, and
he scored his first game.
On his first, I think, one of the first passes thrown to him was a touchdown.
Yep, D-Hop didn't do that.
He even had to look over at the guy because he didn't know what the check was, and he was like, "Dude, just run."
He was in the slot
down the middle. I mean, just run down the middle, man. And then touchdown. Josh Allen put it right on him.
Yeah, that was high level.
Also, I'm looking at Buffalo, and they have the Dolphins this week. They already destroyed the Dolphins the first time they played them. So it kind of gives me a little bit of a more belief. And again, Pittsburgh, I'm kind of curious. If you don't get a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, you don't get a Pat Mahomes, Mike Tomlin is the good way to go out there and get 2 good players at the very, very, very cheap so you can keep your badass defense together. It might be. The thing that's scary, though, is I don't know if you know this. You know who, Pittsburgh has a bye this week.
Yes, they won, and they are on a bye.
Do you know who they come back and play?
Should be NFC North time, right?
They come back and play the team that I have ranked 5th. Washington, dude.
Oh, yeah, the Commanders. Then they get into the
I can't
AFC
believe
North.
I'm saying this. But how can I not? What the Commanders are doing, what the Redskins are doing. I hate the Commandos. Give a little bit. Put a little love on some Native Americans out there. You know what I'm saying?
Supposed to.
Give them a little love. But, man, let me tell you something. Washington, this Jaden Daniels kid, you saw the damn Hail Mary, right? You've seen him play like a madman, and they have beat everybody in front of him except for the first game of the year when he was a rookie. He lost a tight one to the Bucks, and then they lost to the Ravens by 1 score. They've been good. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but they get to play the Steelers again in 2 weeks. And that's going to be kind of like help me decide my 4 and 5.
Okay.
Because I guess we agreed Buffalo 3, Pittsburgh 4, and we're going with Washington 5.
Oh, no Ravens in this top 5.
Man, right now you lost to the Browns.
Oh, man, that's tough, John.
You lost to the Browns. That defensive secondary is terrible. Listen, I love Lamar Jackson. I love the weapons. I love King Henry. I love what they can do. But sometimes Todd Monken loses his mind and just quits running and giving the ball to King Henry. He only had 11 touches in that game. And that secondary's got more holes than what we say.
Swiss cheese?
What's her name? Oh, I was thinking of something Riley. Do you remember that girl's name?
Swiss cheese?
What was her name? Riley Reed. She just got married, by the way. That's why I was thinking about her. I saw that on the TMZ. Love the TMZ. And then you look at the teams that are just so pathetic.
Bottom feeders.
Is there anybody as bad as the Tennessee Titans?
Yes, I believe the Dallas Cowboys, but
Let me just tell you something. I don't know if you know this. Do you know who has like the best defense in yards allowed per game in all of football? I want you to think about this. Who gives up the fewest yards per game in the National Football League?
I think I saw this last night. Cheat code moment. Isn't it the Titans?
It is the Titans.
Yeah, I was going to say, but they have like the 26th, I think, overall or something like that, aren't they?
Yeah, because, one, they only give up a few points, and it shouldn't be their defensive fault that their special teams gets punts blocked constantly, and also that when you throw a interception, Will or Mason, when you throw one and the team gets tackled in the red zone, those points go against your defense instead against you.
It's 2 of them.
Titans are just trash. Carolina is, I don't even, the only thing good for Carolina right now is basketball season's about to start, and they can pay attention to North Carolina and Duke.
They also claim Steph Curry out there, too, so they root for the Warriors.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Charlotte, man.
But, yeah, they're terrible. And then would you say it's got to be the New York Jets? Is there a team that's more disappointing than the New York Jets?
I promise Cowboy fans I'm not piling on, but disappointing, Jets correct, but the Cowboys have to be included. You made the quarterback the highest paid quarterback the day of, moments, hours, minutes before the first game, so no one can usurp him from being the highest paid quarterback.
And they're down there at the bottom with the Giants.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones.
Patriots are pretty bad, too.
Worst thing that ever happened to the Giants was 2022 when they made the playoffs.
Oh, with Daniel Jones, yeah.
Because then they extended him, got rid of Saquon Barkley, thought they had a quarterback. No. And by the way, one other question, man. Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr.? Because Malik Neighbors is dropping balls all over the damn place.
Yeah, but Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm invested in him slightly. He had a bounce-back game. The previous 3 games, of course, he got knocked out against Green Bay with the concussion deal. So I was kind of worried about his toughness. But he kind of showed me a bounce-back game on the road in Miami. He goes for over 100 yards, touchdown. I think Marvin Harrison, I think him over Neighbors.
I will say one thing, though. I do want to remind you, we did a little NFL talk on the other side. We're doing a little hardwood because it feels so good. You know that there's a little nip in the air usually, and then all of a sudden I go outside that ain't as hot as Cooter Brown. You know what I mean? Warm.
Sure, burr months.
But let me just tell you something. The chill is coming. Winter is coming. I said this in another Game of Thrones reference, man. That's twice in one day. Winter's coming. You need to get your jeans. You need to get your fall fashions, and there's only one place you need to go. That's Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. You got your kids covered because they got a kids department. You got your lady covered because they got a ladies boutique, and they got you covered, homie, because they have a big old men's section, and they got more jeans than you can shake a stick at. Ariat all the way to Wrangler, everything in between. I'm a BKE fan. That's the ones I wear. I don't know why that's the ones I wear. It's the ones that are bought for me because I don't dress myself or shop for myself. Because, some people have to talk into a microphone and do a lot of hard work. Frontier Western Store, though, does all the work for you because they have the largest boot showroom. And if you can't even make it to Olive Branch, it's so simple. Pull up your laptop, get on your phone, go to frontierwesternstore.com. It's easy to navigate. And guess what? They ship their orders out within 24 hours. Bam! They arrive fast. And any order of $75 or more is shipped absolutely free. All them white boots, by the way, white cowboy boots are so popular on college campuses. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Like apple bottom jeans and boots with the fur. White cowboys are in, bro. Get them at Frontier Western Store. Hardwood's on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa setting. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure. Wit and Run at I-40. Family and fun come together.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
With Cybersecurity Awareness Month coming to a close, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. Software updates are used to patch up security issues and bugs that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to personal info. Regularly updating your software is just one more easy step to help protect your personal information. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, LifeLock can help give you a real peace of mind. Only LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft issues that arise, guaranteed. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second, detects and alerts you to a wide range of threats well beyond what you and I can see on our own. If your identity is stolen, your dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or money back. Plus, you're backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package. Up to $3 million in coverage. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial. 30 days at LifeLock.com. Promo code HERD, H-E-R-D. Terms apply.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lake's Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsofMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quirky's Barbecue in Cordova.
I'm telling you right now, Mid-South, if you're looking for a new ride, give Bobby J a call today at Gossett Kia on the Pike. He's the man with the plan. 41 MPG, Bobby's got it in new 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $233.86 a month, 34
$34.99 due at signing. 2025 Kia Sportage, $269 a month. $34.99 due at signing. And get holiday ready in 2024 Kia Telluride S. $408.62 a month. $39.99 due at signing. All 24-month lease. Plus, you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Monthly 650 acquisition fee, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE 834,938, MSRP 22,615, Telluride RG 56,300, MSRP 40,805, Sportage S73 40278, MSRP 29,135, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a 2 for Tuesday. I'm chilling like a villain, hanging out, not doing too much. Very excited. I'm going to be home alone tonight. You know that?
Gonna slide on the floor like Macaulay Culkin.
Dude, run around in my underwear like Tom Cruise.
You
Remember that?
going
Risky
Tom Cruise?
business?
Yeah, you going Tom Cruise.
Hell yeah. It's almost going to be a little risky business up in that crib tonight. You know what I'm saying? Chas and her friend are going down to Moulin Rouge. Hey, would you like to go to Moulin Rouge?
No.
No.
Simultaneous.
There is a World Series game and 3 college football games tonight. So, man, I'm a lucky, lucky gentleman. But everybody can be lucky because you know what, man? My crib, I'm in a new crib, right? Moved there, I think, about 14 months ago. Got there. There was no gate. I can't let my dogs out in the backyard if I ain't got no gate. You know what I'm saying?
Someone might steal them.
Man, yeah, my dogs are cute. Got 3 of them little turds. I love them to death. So I ended up reaching out to my friends over at My Automatic Gates Construction. I went to myautomaticgates.com. They came out there. They've been doing this for over 40 years. And, of course, I didn't know what I wanted. You know what I mean? I just, wanted a gate. They went out there, and they're like, well, man, do me a favor. Let me run this up. They put a few things together like bing, bang, boom, 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 boom. They come out there, and they design it. They install it. They give you everything. I mean, it's fully functional. It's aesthetic appeal. It makes your property look so much better. And it's nice to pull up in your crib and just push a button, whoop, 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 open up, drive on back, and then whoop, 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 close that junk back. I'm telling you right now, if you want a premium gate solution, industrial, commercial, residential, they got you. Go to My Automatic Gates Construction. That's myautomaticgates.com. By the way, a texter also came in here with a good point. John, the Giants are freaking terrible, too. Yeah, they're terrible, but they ain't the Titans. They ain't the Jets. Damn, everything in New York sucks right now. The Yankees are terrible. The Mets, out. The Giants and the Jets, done. The only thing they got going for them is in there the women's team with Diana, what's her name? The one I don't like, Stewie.
Ionescu. Stewie, I don't like Stewie. Even though
Brittany
she's a
Stewart.
Husky. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Brianna.
You just basically said she's Husky?
No, she's a Husky. She's a Yukon Husky. Those are my girls.
Oh, you like UConn?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Paige girl ever going to stay healthy?
I hope Paige Beckers does. But Paige definitely. And AZ Fudd, that's her backcourt mate. Both of them need to stay healthy this year.
Man,
Showing you my little college women acumen here.
Man, but let me just tell you a little something. I know a little something about college women myself, brother. Got one of them in college right now at Ole Miss. She's living her best life. But if you want to have the best home, remember, myautomaticgatesconstruction.com. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
Dude, Tom Brady is becoming the one person in the world that I cannot stand at all.
Because he's attractive?
No, dude, I'm better looking than Tom Brady, please. I just don't have his bank account.
Heard
he's
that.
got a butt chin, a dad body. Now, was he a great football player? Yeah, he's a better football player. Has he got a lot more money than me? Yeah, he's got a lot more money than me. But damn it, I can do football games better than that dumbass.
Can you do Haynes commercials?
Hell yes. Man, reach out, Haynes. I am the new Tom Cruise. Running around, sliding across in my socks, my
forgot about
Haynes
that.
socks. I don't wear whitey tighties, but I will if you pay me. Damn it, I even forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Tom Brady. I can't stand that fool. Did you know that Giselle is pregnant?
Again?
His ex-wife, you know, the one that he was married to?
Mrs. Bündchen.
Giselle Bündchen is pregnant with the what is he, a jiu-jitsu? The judo kid. I don't know his name because he ain't famous.
Yeah, I don't know where you go after Tom Brady.
Basically, here's what this guy right here is the one who made sure she got pregnant, so now he gets half.
Oh, yeah.
Totally reversed on his situation than most men's situation. Pretty pimped by this little judo guy. But so Giselle comes out and says, "Oh, I'm pregnant with my boyfriend. I'm so excited." An hour later, this goober posts a photo, and it's like a sun setting, like he's on top of the mountains. There's like 2 trees. It's a beautiful scene. You know what I mean? It's a really pretty scene. And he posts this photo. And when you open up his little Instagram, they're doing Fleetwood Mac's Landslide, you know, and a landslide brings you down. Did you know that she shoved more cocaine in her nose than Tony Montana? Did you know that? I'm serious, a heart attack. They had to do surgery. What? Yeah, for real, bro. This is no joke. Stay away from the yayo, kids. But he's playing the Landslide Brings You Down, and he writes a little caption. "Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? I know I don't love you. I know I can't stand you. I know I can't believe they gave you $37 million to suck at your job for 10 damn years. I guarantee you, this man does not make it 2 years in the booth."
Oh, well, you say in the booth?
Did you hear what he said during the Buffalo game? You know, Josh is, has someone spastic and da-da-da. I mean, like, dude, you are so bad. You're so bad. And everything he always compares to himself.
That's what most goats do, John. What most goats do.
Well, keep the goat out the damn booth and put a professional up there.
Like Mr. Olsen?
Like Greg frickin' Olsen. Like, I miss me some Greg.
He's still around.
Dude, to put it this way, I would take Chris Collinsworth on every single game over 1 game a week than Tom Brady. And Chris makes me banana sandwiches.
All right, would you take Chris and Jack? You have to take both. Both are. I'm with you on both.
I'm taking both, man.
Jack is just as bad.
So yeah, man. Tom Brady, his girl pregnant. His ex. By the way, don't you know you left her too? He's the one who wanted to play more football. She said, "I want to go spend my money and party and sail around the Caribbean." By the way, Giselle, how old are you, man?
She is 44. I got some information.
Can I just tell you something? Eventually, you know that you ain't going to just bounce back from having a kid.
She's 44, and the guy she's been dating only a year. They've been together only a year. His name is Joaquin Valente.
Well, let me just tell you something. He's been working on knocking her up since
day
one.
Since
let me
day
just
one.
tell you that. Sure, I have protection. Wink, wink.
On guard, because, he's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, yeah, he's slippery. Sneak that sucker off mid-stroke, bro.
Can't believe you can reverse all that Tom Brady did in a year, though. 1 year, and that's all it takes for her to get pregnant?
Quit putting him on TV. Quit sounding like a goober. Quit being a goober. Quit saying, like, little things like, so spastic. So spastic. And then, like, even, who's the little dude who does the show with him? I can't even remember right now. Like, when he was like, "Man, that sounded like a movie trailer, Tom."
I think that's Kevin Burkhardt, right?
Kevin Burkhardt, man. I wanted to punch Kevin in the face. Kevin, what are you talking about?
You're getting rid of the entire booth. Just get rid of both of them.
I'm getting rid of them all. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Don't want it. Now, what are you going to wear for Halloween? Do you know?
Oh, let's see. Not sure. What you got?
Well, I was just saying, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, Trayvon Diggs did something that I thought was one of the coolest things this week. I know, like, it's kind of annoying when, like, athletes go up there and, get in a reporter's face and kind of yell and scream and stuff. But when they're funny, I find it very humorous. Did you see what Trayvon Diggs dropped on that reporter that he didn't like?
No, what did he do?
He basically, went off on basically some of the things he was saying, and then he said something back to Trayvon Diggs, and he said, "How about you report on D's nuts?" I haven't heard a good D's nuts in a long time. And I think that was funny. And I'm questioning, can you dress up as D's nuts? Like, how would that work?
Mr. Planners. That's how you do it.
Mr. Planners?
That's how you do it.
And you just
go,
put D's nuts on your shirt?
There you go.
I think that would be a very popular one. I think that would be very, very interesting. And then I got like, man, I don't even want to bring this one up.
Trayvon says he let out a statement. He said he kind of let his emotions get the best of him.
Kind of, sort of, just a little bit. And I get it. Like, I would be a little bit agitated every once in a while. Now, last story I have that I was going to save this one, but I got a little bit of time.
Don't leave any in the chamber, John.
So check this out, man. This happened over in East Tennessee. We thought West Tennessee was crazy. You know what I'm saying? They think we get bucked down here. East Tennessee got some crazy folks. So this dude, like, okay, so do you think that cops are stupid?
No, sir. We love cops.
No, I'm just saying, but this guy had to think cops are dumb.
Maybe one.
So there is a gentleman. His name is, man, it's just so weird. Like, where did his little name go? Nicholas Hamlet. Oh, Hamlet, man. Makes you think of a little Shakespeare. So Nicholas escapes. Well, he doesn't escape, but he's got a warrant for a parole violation. Now, I mean, it's just a parole violation.
Just a parole violation? Okay.
Well, wait, he escalates this real quick. So he's got a little parole violation. So my man leaves the state of Alabama, goes to Tennessee, steals this dude's ID, pretends, like, goes up to the mountain. He goes up to the mountain, and I guess he picked up this guy, just like a normal other dude. He picked up this guy. He ended up smashing him over the head, threw him off a waterfall and over the side of a mountain. He picked up his phone and called and pretended to be the guy, to be himself, and say, I just fell off a waterfall. I'm gonna die. Come and help. So the sheriffs, like the FBI, they all descend on this one thing. And he's so dumb, he put his own ID on the other dead man's body. Do you think that they weren't going to figure out that another dead body was not you, homie? Now he's not just got a parole violation, now he's got a murder charge. Right now the FBI is looking for him. He's on the run. But the funny thing is, I listened, they put out the police thing, and he says, I've been running from a bear. He's over in like some falls, I don't know, man, East Tennessee. I only got 2% batteries, what he says to 911. Please help. I'm at the bottom of a waterfall. Bear's trying to eat me. Bam. Then he disappears. He's fine. Well, now the FBI knows who's him. I don't know how they know who it is, but the FBI. And now, again, not just a parole violation. Son, you got a murder charge.
There's a charge. We could have cracked that code. We cracked Cardi B's code. We would have cracked that one with the ID on him.
I definitely would have done that. I'm like, I don't know if you know this. I know the guy's dead and bloated, but he does not look anything like Nicholas.
Yeah, we've already proven we're pseudo-investigators.
Fingerprints aren't the same. We're late for a break. We're going to take a quick time out. On the other side, who we betting on today? I'll tell you in two shakes. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I got him on the line right now, Marty McNade over at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Hey, what's happening, dude?
I'm going back in time, Randy, with 0% for 60 months on all 2024 Tiguan's. When's the last time you've heard that?
It's been a while, Marty. Hey, what else you got?
I've got all Peak Edition Atlases at $5,000 off MSRP.
That's awesome. Every Peak Edition Atlas, $5,000 off MSRP.
Or take your pick from 2024 Taos SE or 2024 Jetta SE, $289 a month.
2024 Taos SE or 2024 Jetta SE, $289 a month. Great Scott McNade, you do got it going on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
As for me, Marty McNade at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and remember, your future is what you make of it.
Get out here and see us 7420 Winchester Road or shop online, GossipVWG.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill and I buy houses.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not if you call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Damn, I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Glad it's a short segment. I really can't breathe right now. Like, damn. And that's how I feel about the Yankees right now. You're down 3-0. It ain't about belief anymore. It's about your pride. Do you have any pride, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Gleyber Torres? Are y'all going to come out there and play? Luis Gil, are you going to come out there and pitch? You can't get swept in the World Series. You'll be a bunch of busters.
Bernie Williams ain't walking through that door.
Neither's Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter ain't walking through that door.
We need a little Jorge Posada, baby. No, it ain't happening.
Reggie Jackson ain't walking through that door.
But I do think that they get the game today. Bullpen game. And again, these guys are pros. They got to take a little bit of pride. One game at a time right now. Just get a dub. I'm also thinking that maybe they squeeze that strike zone for the Dodgers pitchers. Make them actually groove that junk in there. You never know, man. I like getting the extra game check. Talking about them umpires, man. I'm taking the Yankees. How can I not? We also got a little football tonight. Don't forget, we're taking Texas State. For Darian Newsom, I'm John Harden. Get out there, make the world a better place. And Gator, go kick cancer's ass. See you on the flip side. Peace.